बता देना, ठीक है।
Namaste children. Hello. Namaste children, how are you? I hope all of you are well and fine. So children, today we are going to learn the same chapter as we learned before, that is the surface and the interior of earth. Children, previously we have learned about the surface of earth. On the surface we see different kind of landforms in the form of mountains, plateaus, valleys, plains, etc. So these are the different landforms which we used to see on the land surface. Children, we have also learned about the mean sea level, the highest and the lowest point of the earth surface. So children, today we have to learn about the rocks. Here you are able to see different kind of rocks. But before learning about the rocks, let's recapitulate whatever we learned about the earth's surface and its interior. Now the main word is the interior of earth. The main subject here is about the interior of the earth. In our previous class, we also learned that it is very difficult to know about the interior of earth because deep down in the earth it is very hot. So it is not possible to gain knowledge by direct observation. So the knowledge about the interior of earth is based on indirect observation, in which we have already learned about the earthquake and the volcano. So children, seismic waves work in the earthquake, and we have learned previously about two seismic waves. Those were primary and secondary seismic waves, and their nature we have also learned. Today the subject is the rocks and their nature, their types. Then again we have to learn about the minerals. First of all, let's know or let's recapitulate the three layers of the earth's interior that we learned before. Those were the crust, the mantle and the core. Okay children, in the structure of the earth we have learned about the crust, the mantle and the core. So the crust is a thin solid layer covering the outside of the earth. The thickness of the crust differs from place to place. Means the crust is not evenly spread on the earth. The thickness of crust differs from place to place. Now let's know where is the most thicker and where is the less thicker layer of crust is found. So it is thicker under the continents than the ocean floors. The average thickness of the crust is 60 to 100 kilometers. Beneath the sedimentary rocks of the earth, the rocks are rich in silica and aluminium. Children, we have already learned about Sial, S-I-A-L. Here, beneath the sedimentary rocks of the earth, the rocks are rich in silica and aluminium. Sial is made up of lighter rock material. Now the next layer was the mantle we learned. Let's learn about mantle. Beneath the crust. Crust is the uppermost layer, and beneath the crust a very thick layer of rocks are found. Those are called the mantle. The mantle extends up to 2900 km in depth. The entire mantle is not homogeneous. Homogeneous means alike or same. So the entire mantle is not same or alike. Now let's divide the mantle into two parts again. It is subdivided into upper mantle and lower mantle. And it is made up of silica and magnesium. Here the word Sima came. S-I-M-A. That means silica and magnesium. So this layer is made up of silica and magnesium. Now one more thing is to remember is the uppermost layer, that is crust, and beneath the crust this mantle is found, and the zone that separates the crust and the mantle is called asthenosphere. So the zone that separates the crust and the mantle layer is called asthenosphere. Now look at the picture first. Just we have learned about the crust, which is the toppermost layer. Then comes the upper mantle, and then comes the lower mantle. Here it is written as mantle. Now look at the picture. In this picture, the inner core and the outer core has been shown. The core is the innermost part of the earth, and the thickness is 3470 kilometers. The core is divided into two parts, that is inner and the outer core of the earth. Now the core is rich in iron and nickel. That is why it is called NiFe, knife. So these are the things we have to recapitulate from the previous class. So just we have completed about the crust, the mantle and the core, whatever we learned. Today we are going to start about the rocks. First of all, you just imagine the rocks. Children, whenever we pronounce rock, there is an image of a hard material comes in our mind. But children, do you know all the rocks are not hard? Their nature are somehow different. They can be as hard as granite and as soft as clay or chalk. Here some different rocks pictures has been given to show you. Children, when we see a rock, we can find that they are in different colors and in different shapes. Some are here in the picture. We can see that some are of red color, some are of greenish look, some are in black color, some of them are in white color. It means that rocks are having different shapes and sizes. That depends on their substance from which they made up of. Now let's know actually what the rocks are. Rock is a naturally occurring solid substance made up of a mixture of materials. Now what are minerals then, from which the rocks are made up of? Minerals are also naturally occurring substances with definite chemical composition. Minerals are having definite chemical composition, and rocks are made up of minerals. So this is the difference between rock and minerals. Rock are single or combination of several minerals. Means we can find one single mineral or a combination of several minerals in a rock. All the rocks are not hard. As I told you just now, they can be hard as granite and as soft as clay or chalk. They are found in different shapes and sizes as well as colors also. These minerals are present in small or large quantities at any given site of the earth. Minerals are of great economic values. Now let's pronounce the name of some common minerals occurring inside the earth. They are iron, silver, gold, mica, bauxite, etc. So rocks are the naturally occurred substance which are made up of minerals, and minerals are also naturally occurring substance, and they are having their special chemical composition. We can divide the rocks into three parts. Means there are three kind of rocks. First of all, that is igneous rock. Second is sedimentary rock, and the third rock is called the metamorphic rocks. Children, one by one we will learn about them. Now comes the igneous rock. As we learned before that it is too hot in deep down the earth, and it does not allow us to dig deep down inside the earth because of intensive heat. So this igneous rock is made up of that kind of heat, we can say. The word igneous means coming out of fire. Look at the picture. Deep inside the earth, heat is, we are recognizing the heat inside, and the igneous rocks are formed due to intensive heat and pressure. How? The igneous rock is formed when the hot molten material called magma comes out and solidifies over the earth's surface. Children, here we can see that this rock is formed here. This is called igneous rock. How it formed? When the hot molten material called magma comes out and solidifies over the earth's surface. The next speciality is it is made over the earth's surface. This is the earth's surface, and this igneous rock is made up over the earth's surface. So that we can classify this igneous rock into two parts. Let me define them one by one. Those were intrusive igneous rock and an extrusive igneous rock. First of all, have a look on the picture. First, we are going to learn about intrusive igneous rock. When the cooling and solidification of magma can take place inside the earth. Look at here, children. This is here. This is intrusive igneous rock formation. It forms inside the earth. When it found some cracks inside the earth, it used to take place there, and in this way, when the molten substance called magma comes out, it cools down and solidifies and take place inside the earth, it forms intrusive igneous rock. For example, granite. So granite is made inside the earth, that's why it comes in the category of intrusive igneous rock. Now the next igneous rock is extrusive igneous rock. When the cooling and solidification of magma take place over the earth's surface. So this is the earth and these are the layers of earth. When this formation of rock take place over the earth's surface, it is called extrusive igneous rock. Here the solidification of this rock after cooling the magma here we can easily identify the extrusive igneous rock because it used to form over the earth's surface, and this intrusive igneous rock used to form inside the earth. Igneous rocks are also called primary rocks because they are formed first over the earth's surface. So we are talking about igneous rock. In this picture here we are able to see the intrusive igneous rock here, and in the above the earth's surface extrusive igneous rock. Now here it is a magma chamber. This is a magma chamber. Now igneous rock is classified into extrusive igneous rock and intrusive igneous rock. So what is the difference? I think all of you well stood. Now let's go ahead. Children, I have taken some photos from Google. This is why to make you well stood about all these facts. The next rock is sedimentary rocks. First of all, have a look on a given picture. We are easily see that these rocks are just looking layered. All these rocks are looking layered. Why? Let's know about that. The speciality of sedimentary rocks is that it is made up of sediments. What are sediments? Sediments are rock particles, small rock particles which were carried by the rivers. Now the igneous rocks are subjected to withering and denudation. Withering and denudation we have learned in chapter 2, and over a large period by the agents of gradation. Agents of gradation means air, water. These are the agent of gradation, wind. So they effect on the igneous rocks and they do the process of withering and denudation over a large period. The continuous action of these agents of gradation works on the rock pieces and they break them into small pieces, and then they carry those broken particles are carried by the rivers, and then they are deposited on the river beds or the sea beds. These deposits are called sediments. The sediments forms layer one above other, and due to the pressure of the above layers and the presence of cementing particles, they are hard and then they form sedimentary rocks. So this is the fact about the sedimentary rocks. When the rocks were affected by the withering and denudation over a large period by the agents of gradation, those were able to break the particles, break the rocks into particles, and then they were carried by those broken particles carried by the river, and these rivers then deposits these particles on the river beds or sea beds, and in this way one above other layer is deposited. Due to the pressure of the above layers and the presence of cementing particles, they are hard and then they form sedimentary rocks. These rocks are formed in layers, and that is why they are also called stratified rocks. Now the examples: sandstone, limestone, clay, shell, chalk are some examples of sedimentary rocks. Children, one more thing about fossil fuels. Sometimes the remains of animals and plants get buried and trapped under the layers over a period of time, means over a long period of time. Then it get converted into coal, oil and natural gases. That is why they are called fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, that has been learned by you before also. So these fossil fuels are found inside the earth's surface. When after a long period of time the buried plants and animals get trapped and converted into coal, oil and natural gases. The fossil fuels have a great economic importance all over the world as they are the major source of energy. Coal are used in different kind of industries. Oil or petroleum is also very useful for the means of transportation. As far concerned, natural gas is also as important as these elements. All of us well know about the values of these fossil fuels. Now comes the metamorphic rocks. Now we have learned about the igneous rock, that is very much different and interesting because it comes out from fire. Then we learnt about the sedimentary rock which were formed by the river sediments. But this metamorphic rock is very different because originally it is just changed form of igneous rock and the sedimentary rock. So rock which originally are igneous rocks or sedimentary rocks in nature get changes in character and their appearance, means they change their shapes and sizes due to the heat and pressure, and then they are called the metamorphic rocks. Well stood children, these rocks are originally igneous, but after some time due to heat and pressure they used to change their shapes, size and appearance. That's why they are called metamorphic rocks. So for example, we can say granite is igneous, but it changes into metamorphic as gneiss. Likewise, limestone is a sedimentary rock, but it changes into metamorphic as marble. Marble is very precious rock. It is white in color and it attracts us too much. It is used to make buildings, etc. Now one more example, that is shale, and that may be transformed by great pressure into slate. So this is the reality about the metamorphic rocks, that they are originally igneous or sedimentary, but after a long period they change their size, appearance, character also, and then they comes into a new look and as a form of metamorphic rocks. Let's learn about the minerals. Minerals are of great value or great importance. So rocks are single or a combination of several minerals. Rocks are made up of single mineral or a combination of several minerals. Minerals are identified on the basis of their color, hardness and luster. These minerals are present in a small or large quantities in a rocks. The most common minerals occurring inside the earth are iron, silver, gold, mica, bauxite, etc. The common salt that we use in food is also a mineral. Children, we have learned a lot about minerals previously. They are having their own nutrition value also, and here some words are very familiar, some minerals are very familiar, because minerals like iron, silver and gold, you know, these minerals were used to make jewelries, etc. And the common salt that we use in food, that is also a kind of mineral. Now let's know which is the hardest and which is the softest mineral. So diamond is the hardest substance, whereas graphite is black in color and it is greasy in nature or character, and it is the softest substance. So this is the facts about the minerals. Children, look at the picture given here. In this picture, we can very easily identify some minerals, those were existing in the rocks. We can see their color, their texture and their shine also, because of the rocks are of single or a combination of several minerals. So in this picture we can easily see and differentiate among them. So children, this is the fact about minerals, and today we have learned about the rocks, their different types, as well as minerals also. We also learn about the igneous rock, the sedimentary rock and the metamorphic rock. So in our next class we will discuss upon the question answers. I hope all of you well stood about the facts of igneous rock as well as minerals. Thank you children.